What's up, everybody? It's LawRuneLarry, and today you're seeing me on the big screen. I decided to do a little video with a face cam. A lot of people asked me to give my predictions and my just what I think about 2026 for RuneScape 3, and I decided I'll make a little video and let you guys know. There's going to be a lot of hot takes in this. There's going to be a lot of me bitching about RuneScape, and there's going to be I'm going to say stuff that you don't like. So if you are triggered by opinions, you probably shouldn't watch, or you should, and comment and feed the algorithm so this video gets to more people. But like always, guys, before we get into it, if you do like the content like this, leave a comment, a like on the video, subscribe. If you haven't seen my content before, go ahead, hit the channel, watch some stuff. It's goofy. We have fart noises. We just, I do a little bit of challenges here and there. I'm trying to bring some of that old cool pizzazz to the RuneScape 3 community. So let's get into it. Oh, in the background here, I'm doing a little bit of fishing on the Iron Man, by the way. Yes, the episode 2 is coming. I just set a very big goal for myself that I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have spread that out across a couple videos, but I'm stupid. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm gonna kind of go step by step here and kind of talk about my predictions and how I feel about the updates that are coming. So the first one we're gonna talk about is obviously the big elephant in the room, the removal of Treasure Hunter. Personally, I feel like it should have been done a long time ago, but I mean, it's better than never. So removing it now is obviously a band-aid over a bullet hole, but well, honestly, it's like a band-aid over a slaughtered, cut in half body, but thank God it happened. How do I feel about people being able to still buy bonus XP? I don't like it. I think the whole band-aid should have been ripped off, and that should have just been nixed. The sense of progression in RuneScape 3 is dead, and it's not coming back. I don't know what you would have to do to restore that. Maybe adding a prestige system and a prestige only high scores, maybe. Other than that, I don't think RS3 will ever have that feeling of progression again. So the removal of Treasure Hunter, too little too late? I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments, but I think it's a good thing. I think Mod North made a goated decision to remove that. Obviously, Jagex is in a position financially that they can make decisions like that and take big risks. So I'm happy to see RuneScape and Jagex as a company flourishing, but the elephant in the room is RuneScape 3 just doesn't have the player base. We don't have the player base that old school has, so it's going to take a lot more than removing Treasure Hunter to restore that. And we'll kind of talk about what I think could make that a little better. So Treasure Hunter, good. Remove, probably too late. There will never be that sense of progression in RS3 again, unless there are huge changes made. And obviously you can't just go reset everybody's account. You just can't. It's not viable. Everybody will quit. Somebody will probably get Sue happy. I'm sure they would lose, but there's somebody that would do it. So what do I think would need to happen to get old school players to play RS3? Because in my opinion, you shouldn't be marketing to new people, because in the TikTok age, the kids these days, they just don't have the attention span to play a game like RuneScape. It's just it's facts. You can't, it's indisputable. The attention spans aren't like they used to be. So we need to market to players that have played this game before, and they are playing right now in old school RuneScape. So what do I think is the number one thing keeping those players from coming over, other than the EOC nerds that are just like, fuck EOC, rah, rah, rah. Like those people, you can't change those people. They're literally eating rocks. So we can't change those people. But the people that would play this game and have given it a good go, the interface is turning them off. I see comments. You guys leave comments in the comment section all the time. How do I get my interface to look like yours? How did you get your interface to look like old school RuneScapes? This is one of the biggest things stopping these people from playing this game. They log in, the new interface is just confusing. It's everywhere. It makes no sense. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And then they just log out. So if a new account logged in with the legacy interface mode on by default, I believe your retention would probably increase twofold. And that's just my opinion. It might be a hot take. You guys love your interfaces, but everybody wants an interface that looks like old school. So in my opinion, they should have the legacy interface by default, but update it to where you could unlock it and drag and drop and resize like you can a new one. It's easy. Okay, everybody's happy then. You log into a game, it's familiar, everybody knows what buttons to press. It's like if they remade, they're getting ready to remake Fallout 3. Imagine if they remade Fallout 3 and the only thing they really changed was the controls. It would be like, what the fuck? So now you got to sit here and, like, unless you really want to play this game, it's just going to turn them off. So I think changing the interface is going to be a big thing, and they did mention they were going to touch on that, so I'm hoping they go towards the direction of bringing over the legacy interface by default. That would be amazing in my opinion. It might be a hot take, you guys might not agree with it, but that's my opinion, so it is what it is. What other thing do I think is missing from RuneScape 3? And that is obviously Runelite. So I believe RuneScape 3 needs Runelite. It just does. The fact of the matter is no one would play old school RuneScape if it did not have Runelite. Runelite is how many people are logged in to old school RuneScape right now on the Runelite client? Probably 90% of them. So if you removed Runelite, old school RuneScape would probably have about the player number that RuneScape 3 does. So it's just mind-boggling to me that you would see such a successful client on your other game and you would not include it on your main game. It just doesn't make sense. And I would, you know, you have some PVM elitists that'll say, no, you know, tile markers will destroy the game. Like, shut the fuck up. No, they won't. Tile markers are not going to destroy the game. They're not going to let some dude who's never done endgame PVM beat your kill times. It's not going to happen. Okay. And if you don't want to use them, don't use them. It's just the fact of the matter. There needs to be more accessibility in this game for older players. It's just, there's a reason RuneScape was so popular. There's a reason old school RuneScape is so popular. And the reason everybody left around EOC is because the change was so massive. And I think we need to get RuneScape 3 back to its roots. It needs to look like old school. Not just old school, but it needs to look like RuneScape, right? The interface at least. Combat, get over it. You know, if you don't want to play this game because you're still hung up on EOC, which is over 10 years ago, shit changes. I mean, I'm not denying that leaves a big stain on the community and will leave a bad taste in people's mouth, but it's been over 10 years. Necromancy is the way all skills need to be. All combat skills at least. And you'll also have some PVM elitists that'll say, no. Guys, you have to make combat more accessible. In the end of the day, if nobody plays RuneScape, or if nobody plays RuneScape 3, RuneScape 3 is going to go away. So you just have to be okay with it. And that's what brings me to my next point is, I think what's bigger than the interface, what's bigger than Treasure Hunter, what's bigger than all this is that the community itself needs to change. A lot of my content, I don't play efficiently. I know how to play efficiently. I've played this game for 20 years, but when people see me do things that are not efficient, they kind of backseat drive it. Like, they tell me I should be doing this, or I suck because I do that. It's like, that's weird. What if somebody new plays this game and they want to get into content creation and they're just playing how they want to play, and then you're shitting on them in their comments? It kind of turns people off and they don't want to play this game. So community has to be kind of more welcoming and more, you know, if you want to see the content, kind of just, you know, make a suggestion, but don't like tell them they suck because of it. I mean, some people are probably like, why are you fly fishing and not fishing in Menifos? Well, because I don't want to fish in Menifos. I don't feel like doing the quest, and so I'm just going to do this. And on the other side of the fence is the old school players need to get over EOC. EOC was 10 plus years ago. Things have changed. They've learned from their mistakes and they've updated a lot. Combat in RS3 isn't bad. You can set everything on your action bar here and just point and click like you do on old school. And guess what? We use the wiki on old school, use the wiki on RS3, find your optimal revolution bar and just fight stuff. It's easy. There's no excuse. The EOC thing, it's a trend. It's a meme. It's a dead meme. Stop doing it. Try the game. If you don't like it, it is what it is. But I promise if you give it a good go, you're going to like the game. So the next thing, and kind of the final thing, because I don't want this video to be too long, that I'm going to touch on is visual progression in RS3. And just progression, the feeling of progression at all. So obviously the progression in skilling is just, it's gone because people have been able to buy XP for years, so that's gone. Cosmetics have really destroyed the feeling of visual progression in this game, so I'm very thankful that they added they're going to add the option to toggle off cosmetics. That's going to turn on a lot of people to be able to play this game. Just being able to toggle those off is going to bring a lot of that's going to make the game more satiable to old school players. And I keep mentioning old school players because that's who you want to come over to play this game. They already have memberships. They, you know, that's a whole subject for another video of being able to log into both your accounts at the same time. Obviously there's technical issues that would allow that to happen, but I think that's a big thing that should be looked into. They should be able to double log their accounts, so I should be able to play on Larry's Bald on RS3 and old school at the same time. I think that would be pretty cool. Like I said, let's not ramble off there. We all know that would be a good idea, but visual progression and the feeling of progression in RS3 needs to be restored. And how do you do that? I mean, it's a hot take, but if it was me, there needs to be a prestige system and the high scores have to be reset, because we all play this game for number go up, and a lot of number go up is the high scores. And look at how people were racing in the high scores for sailing. So if you add a prestige system and like prestige only high scores, people are going to play this game just to get that #1 rank. So would that fix it? I don't know. I think it would restore it for a little while, but I think the feeling of progression in RS3 is pretty much gone. And it sucks to say that, but it is what it is. But my ultimate feelings and my ultimate predictions for 2026 for RS3 is it's going to be a good year. You know, they're really swinging, and they're swinging heavy, and they're making the changes that they have to make, but it's going to be up to us as a community to make sure that it works. So you can only help if you want help. So Jagex can give us the best polished game ever, but if we don't show it to our friends, if we're not welcoming to new players, if we're not making content, if we're not doing these things, then just people aren't going to play this game. So you could remove everything and they could do everything right. At the end of the day, it's up to us. And if we can't get out of this war of worlds between the two versions of the game, then it's just not going to work. And that's just the fact of the matter. So yeah, I don't know if this video had anything of substance in it. I basically just rambled and gave you some hot takes. Yeah, but if you did like this video and you want to see me do a couple more, or, you know, just if you never want to see this again, just tell me to keep my bald ass off the screen and I will. But like always, guys, if you do enjoy my content, leave a comment below, like the video so other people can see it, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The Iron Man series is going pretty good. I'm releasing that. I'm also doing some more challenge videos because I like how old school content has a lot of challenge videos, and there's just not that many for RS3. So if you have any ideas for some challenge videos that you want to see, leave them in the comment below. Go check out my latest video. I believe it's I've spent an hour in free to play trying to just make money. It's a fun little game. It's goofy, and you know, we did the challenge, so I'm gonna do another one like that. But yeah, I will see you guys later.